We are making America great again. You haven't heard that, have you?
First tonight, the White House calls it a middle-class miracle. The GOP's tax reform bill passed today. It is President Donald Trump's first major victory since taking office.
As reaction from both sides of the aisle pours in, there's one big question. What does the $1.5 trillion package mean for you?
The Night Beat's Michael Perchik joins us live to break it down. Michael?
Mike and Quita, we've seen some immediate and headline-grabbing steps taken by some corporations who are on the receiving end of those massive cuts. Companies like AT&T, Comcast, Wells Fargo, and others promising bonuses, investments, or wage increases. While those announcements attract attention, what is the long-term economic impact of this bill? The numbers are eye-opening. The $1.5 trillion bill, the country's first rewrite of the tax plan in more than 30 years.
Going to affect everybody.
Nick Samuel is the director of research at Angelou Economics. The cut getting the most attention, the corporate tax rate, which will drop from 36% to 21%.
It's going to be likely that there might be some initial impact in terms of purchasing for companies, in terms of new equipment, in terms of small expansions.
The Nonpartisan Tax Policy Center analyzed the package. According to their analysis, beginning next year, families making between $50,000 and $75,000 will get average tax cuts of $890. Families making between $100,000 and $200,000 would get average tax cuts of $2,260. And families making more than $1 million would get average tax cuts of nearly $70,000.
Next year and in 2019, the vast majority of Americans are going to pay less in taxes. Still, this tax cut disproportionately benefits the wealthy and, more importantly, permanently cuts taxes on corporations.
Congressional estimates show that if cuts for individuals expire, those making less than $75,000 a year would see tax increases in 2027. Samuel warned of the downside of adding nearly $1.5 trillion to the national debt over the next decade.
And that's going to impact both the revenue that the government receives, and it's also going to impact its ability to provide services.
Furthermore, if the U.S. experiences a recession as it did in the mid-2000s, Samuel says studies show countries with larger national debts have a tougher time breaking out of such economic downturns. The legislation also takes aim at the Affordable Care Act, removing a provision that requires all Americans to carry health insurance. Another clause that will affect families, a doubling of the child tax credit from $1,000 per child to $2,000 per child. I'm Michael Perchik, KVUE News Night Beat.